Welcome to the deep dive. You know, it feels like everyone's talking about large language models, LLMs, right? But
Uh-huh.
then the question pops up like, okay, but what can they actually do?
Uh-huh.
All the buzz is great, but while getting a really clear, practical handle on what they're capable of, it can feel like trying to find a specific card in a deck that someone's shuffling really fast.
Oh, good analogy.
So consider this your essential guys. We want to help you understand exactly how they're engineered to perform actual real-world tasks.
And our source for this deep dive, it's called LLM Task List with input, output.
Yeah.
But it's more than just a list. Think of it as a really precise kind of end-to-end blueprint.
A blueprint, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It dissects how these LLMs operate across just an incredibly diverse range of tasks.
Yeah.
It really bridges that gap between, raw, messy data and intelligent, actionable outcomes.
Mm.
And this blueprint, it meticulously details the exact input structure you give the LLM and the precise output you can reliably expect for each type of task. It's very structured.
Got it. So our mission today then is to unpack this blueprint. We're going to make it hopefully crystal clear how these LLMs get applied in practical real-world scenarios.
Right.
I mean, everything from automating those repetitive tasks that just drain your day to generating totally new creative content.
Yeah.
By the end of this deep dive, our goal is for you, the listener, to feel equipped, to design scalable, explainable, and real-time LLM pipelines with, well, real precision.
Mm-hmm.
Think of this as your ready reference for unlocking the full potential of LLMs, especially in enterprise applications.
Exactly.
Okay, let's dive in. We're starting with the foundational stuff. How LLMs derive meaning from the language we feed them. That's text understanding.
Right. This is where they actually read and interpret human language.
First up, text classification. This is all about sorting text into predefined categories, right?
Precisely. So you input something like, this is a spam message, and the LLM outputs spam. Simple as that sometimes.
But it's smarter than just keywords, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. LLMs can infer intent, context.
Yeah.
They can classify stuff, even with new phrasing they haven't seen before, which is, super important for dynamic data like social media feeds or customer emails.
Okay, that makes sense. What's next in understanding text?
Well, a key thing is moving beyond just classifying to actually extracting structured info. That brings us to named entity recognition, or NER.
NER, right.
This is where the LLM identifies specific things in the text entities, like people's names, company names, locations.
Okay.
So, for instance, you feed it, Barack Obama visited India. The LLM is smart enough to pull out Barack Obama in India.
Ah, I see. So it's giving structure to otherwise unstructured sentences.
Exactly. It's not just finding words, it's understanding what they represent. Imagine, automatically filling your CRM with names and companies from emails instead of someone typing it all in.
Yeah, that saves a ton of time. Okay, what else?
Then there's sentiment analysis. Super crucial, I think, for understanding customer feedback or, tracking buzz on social media at scale.
Right, the positive negative stuff.
Yeah. LLMs analyze the text to figure out the emotional tone. Input, I love this product, and it spits out positive. Pretty straightforward.
But I bet it gets tricky with sarcasm or subtle language.
Oh, definitely. That's where the more advanced models really shine, picking up those nuances. Then we have question answering.
Okay.
This allows the LLM to pull specific answers directly from a text you provide. So if you ask, what is the capital of France? Then give some text that includes the word Paris in the right context.
It just outputs Paris.
Exactly. Paris. It's about precise information retrieval, even from really long documents. No need to read the whole thing yourself.
Andy. So retrieving info is one thing, but what about boiling it down?
Good question. That leads us right into summarization. LLMs can take, really long texts and just distill them into shorter, coherent summaries.
Okay, like an executive summary generator.
Pretty much. Imagine feeding it a paragraph that starts, the company has a strong revenue base, and getting back just strong revenue base.
Yeah.
Or maybe a slightly longer, concise summary. Yeah, think of it like having a super fast editor who reads a 50-page report and gives you the 2-paragraph version instantly, but crucially, keeping the core ideas intact.
Impressive. Is there anything else under text understanding?
One more key one, compact modeling. This is where the LLM extracts the main themes or topics from a document, or even a whole set of documents.
So like tags or keywords.
Sort of, but more sophisticated. Inputting something like machine learning is transforming health might yield topics like machine learning and health. It helps you quickly grasp what large amounts of text are actually about.
Okay, so that's text understanding covered. Classification, NER, sentiment QA, summarization, topic modeling. Got it. What's next?
Well, once the LLM understands what we give it, the really exciting part for many is text generation. This is where it starts creating new content or transforming existing text.
Ah, the creative side.
Exactly. The simplest form is probably text completion. You've likely seen this like autocomplete, but much more powerful.
Like when my phone suggests the next word.
Kind of, but on a bigger scale. Input the future of AI is, and the LLM might complete it with something relevant like the future of AI is bright or something more complex.
Okay.
But it's not just finishing thoughts. It can completely reshape them. That's text rewriting or paraphrasing.
Changing the tone or style.
Precisely. LLMs can rewrite text differently. Input, the meeting was canceled, and it could rephrase it as, the session has been postponed. Maybe that sounds more formal or less abrupt, you know.
Useful for emails.
Definitely. Tailoring communication. And this ability flows naturally into content generation. This is huge for anyone creating content.
Like writing blog posts.
Blog posts, articles, summaries,
Yeah.
you name it. Give it a prompt like benefits of cloud computing, and it can generate paragraphs of relevant text, like cloud computing offers scalability.
So it tackles the blank page problem.
Exactly. Gives you a solid draft to work from, letting you focus on refining and adding your unique perspective.
Okay, that's powerful. What about more technical stuff?
You mean like code? Yep, code generation.
Yeah.
LLMs can actually generate working code from a plain English description.
Curiously.
Oh, yeah. Input something like sort a list in Python, and it can output the actual Python code. Sorted list. Sorted my list. It can really speed up development.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then, of course, a really well-known one, translation. LLMs can translate between languages incredibly well now.
Better than the old online tools.
Miles better. Input Holomundo. Get hello world. The fluency and context awareness are amazing compared to just a few years ago. Remember those clunky translations?
Oh, I remember. Gibberish sometimes.
Exactly. LLMs have changed that game. Then there are conversational agents. This is the tech behind chatbots and virtual assistants.
Like customer service bots.
Yep. Input, hi, I need help, and the LLM crafts a natural response like, how can I assist you? Leading to much smoother interactions.
Okay, so it can generate answers, code, translations. But sometimes you need to know how it got the answer right, especially for complex things.
Excellent point. That brings us to chain of thought reasoning. This is a really interesting one.
Chain of thought.
Yeah. It's not just about getting the right answer. It's about showing the steps. It provides explainability, which is like the holy grail in AI sometimes.
Ah, so you can see it's working.
Exactly. Understanding how the LLM reached a conclusion can be just as valuable as the conclusion itself. Think about regulated industries or just debugging.
Makes sense. So what would that look like?
Well, input. What is 5 plus 3? Instead of just outputting 8, it might show step 1, add 5 and 3 result 8. It lays out the logic.
Okay, that's clear. Very useful. So we've covered understanding and generating text. What about working with data more directly?
Right. Let's move into data processing. This is really about how LLMs interact with and transform raw data, often pulling structure from unstructured formats.
Extracting information.
Precisely. First up is data extraction. LLMs can pull specific pieces of structured data out of free text.
Like finding an order number in an email.
Yeah. Exactly. Input order ID, 12345 date, 2024-06-21, and it can parse that into a nice, clean format like order ID 12345 date, 2024-06-21.
Needs good prompts, I imagine.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Getting high accuracy often depends on really well-structured prompts that tell the LLM what to look for and how to format it. Prompt engineering is key here.
Okay, and related to that.
Building on that is text-to-structured data. This takes it a bit further, converting free-form text directly into a specific structured format you define.
How's that different from extraction?
It's more about imposing a structure. Input something like item, apple, quantity, 10. Maybe just typed casually in a sentence, and it outputs item, apple, quantity, 10. It enforces that structure onto varied inputs, making data machine readable.
Got it. Making messy data usable.
Exactly. Now, here are a couple of capabilities that show just how adaptable these models are, and they're pretty amazing.
Sure.
First, few-shot learning. This means an LLM can learn to do a new task with only a tiny number of examples, sometimes just 1 or 2.
Really? Not thousands?
Nope. You might give it translate, bonjour, and just one example like bonjour, hello, and boom, it gets the idea. It massively reduces the need for huge labeled data sets, unlike older ML models.
Wow, that's efficient.
It is. But even more impressive, maybe, is zero-shot learning.
Zero shot, meaning no examples at all.
Exactly. The LLM can perform a task it hasn't been specifically shown any examples for.
How does it even work?
It's not magic, though it feels like it sometimes. It comes from the massive, diverse data they're pre-trained on. They learn to generalize concepts. So you can just input, classify, this is urgent, and even without seeing urgent examples before, it might output category, priority.
That is pretty incredible.
It infers, based on everything else it's learned about language and context. Really powerful stuff.
Okay, so understanding, generating, processing data.
Yeah.
What about helping us make decisions?
Good transition. That brings us to decision support. This category shows how LLMs use their analytical power beyond just spitting back information. Well, consider document comparison. LLMs can compare multiple documents, maybe legal contracts, research papers, and identify similarities or differences, even subtle ones.
So it could flag changes between two versions of a contract.
Precisely. Input Doc1 content versus Doc2 content. And it could output similar, different, maybe even highlighting the specific differences. Huge time saver in areas like legal tech or compliance.
I can see that. What else for decision support?
Something we probably all experience daily. Recommendation generation.
Like Netflix or Amazon suggestions.
Exactly, but potentially much more sophisticated.
Yeah.
LLMs can recommend products, articles, music, whatever, based on various inputs, going way beyond simple people who bought this also bought logic.
How does it work?
You might provide an input like user did, one, maybe along with recent activity or preferences, and the LLM generates relevant suggestions like product A, product B. It understands context and intent better.
Okay, fascinating. Now, you mentioned these models work with text, but what about other stuff? Images, sound?
Ah, yes, that's the really exciting frontier. Multimodal processing. LLMs are increasingly going beyond just text.
Multimodal, meaning multiple types of data.
Correct. For instance, image to text. LLMs can actually look at an image and describe what's in it using natural language.
Like generating captions.
Exactly. Input image1.jpg, and it might output a description like a cat sitting on a sofa. This bridges the visual and textual worlds. Think about accessibility tools or automatically tagging image libraries.
That's amazing. And audio.
Yep. Similarly, audio to text. LLMs can take spoken words from an audio file and transcribe them into written text with pretty high accuracy now.
Speech to text, basically.
Right. Input audio1.wave, and it could transcribe it as, meeting starts at 9 a.m. This powers voice assistants, meeting transcription services. It's fundamental to how we interact with devices using voice.
Okay, image, audio. We've covered a lot of ground. Is there a final category?
Yes, the final piece ties many of these together, automation. This is where LLMs help streamline complex workflows, going beyond just single tasks.
Automating processes.
Exactly. First, there's general task automation. This means using LLMs to automate multi-step tasks. You can define a sequence, like step 1, extract data from email. Action. Load extracted data to database.
And the LLM system handles the whole flow.
Correct. It executes the sequence, which can seriously boost efficiency and cut down on manual errors in business processes.
Makes sense. Any other type of automation?
One more key type, conversational workflow automation. This is about using LLMs to guide users through multi-step conversations.
Like a guided help process.
Precisely. Think of troubleshooting, onboarding, or complex information gathering. A user might start with, say, user 1, step 1, greeting, and the LLM bot responds intelligently, bot, how can I help you? Then guides them through a predefined workflow based on their answers.
So like an intelligent, interactive guide.
Exactly. That makes self-service options much better and can really improve customer support experiences.
Wow, you can really see the huge range of applications here, can't you?
Absolutely.
This whole list, this blueprint, it really reinforces the power these LLMs have for anyone looking to, understand them, design with them, or apply them in the real world.
Yeah.
I mean, from automating tricky sentiment analysis on thousands of reviews to building these complex step-by-step conversational flows, it gives you a much clearer picture, doesn't it?
It really does. And if you zoom out, what we've covered today just highlights the sheer breadth and depth of what these models can do. From deeply understanding text nuances to generating brand new code, even processing images and audio. These aren't just isolated tricks. They are like fundamental building blocks.
Building blocks, I like that.
Yeah, and they empower architects, data engineers, AI practitioners, anyone working in this space to design truly sophisticated, intelligent LLM pipelines that can tackle some really complex problems.
Absolutely. So, okay, here's a thought. We have this clear blueprint now of what LLMs can do, all these individual tasks with their inputs and outputs. What happens when we start combining them in unexpected ways? What kind of maybe even radical combination of these distinct tasks might lead to the next really big breakthrough?
Hmm, interesting question.
I mean, think about how these fundamental blocks, classification, generation, extraction, reasoning, maybe even multimodal stuff, how they can be chained together, maybe in ways we haven't even thought of yet, for even more complex, more intelligent applications down the road.
Yeah.
The real frontier might not just be improving individual tasks, but in the creative ways we connect them for, exponential impact. Something to think about.